the ideal appearance that the East Asian society seeks for is slim and tall. That is why most companies produce products that fit this body type. As a petite person, I always have to visit the clothing alteration center to fix my new clothes to fit me. By facing this inconvenience, I always had a future goal to launch my own fashion brand. I wanted to make and sell clothes that can fit and suit small and large people, which can supplement their physical weaknesses. I like clothes because clothes has the power to change my physical weakness into something more attractive. Because of this, I always had interest in fashion since I was young. And I naturally became a clothing collector, which means that at times I could be greedy and needlessly overspend my money. My parents respected my interest in fashion, but definitely there were times when they got annoyed. They said that I already had enough clothes and that I was consuming for no real benefit. When I think about my behavior now, I have to admit that I have bad spending habits, but at that time, I thought that I should persuade my parents to get more new clothes. I persuaded my parents by explaining why external care is important, which I would like to share with all of you today. In the end of my speech, I hope I'll provide an opportunity for you to think about fashion in a broader perspective, rather than to think about it as a way to liberate yourself. Now, let me give an example of the significant influence that externality possesses that is in first impressions. I once went to a department store to get a new wallet. Walking into luxury brand stores, I wore my torn sneakers, my sweatshirt, without any makeup. While I was in the store, the clerk treated me with no respect, and even though I had been there for a while, she ignored me to take care of another customer without giving me a look. I realized that I was being judged by my appearance. Since I didn't find the item that I wanted that day, I went back to the store again after a few weeks, and this time I was dressed much nicer. Surprisingly, I encountered the same staff member that I met before, and this time she was very kind in showing me around. And even though I didn't buy anything that day too, she was very nice until the very last moment I left. Of course, my situation cannot be generalized to everyone, but it's quite true that you are often judged by your looks. Another influence that external care exerts is elevating one's self-esteem. If you have ever had a favorite piece of clothing that fits perfectly on you, or a power suit that seems to boost your self-confidence, you might understand how clothing can have direct influence on your self-esteem. Why do some girls necessarily have to put makeup on when even going to a near supermarket? Other people might think you look better without makeup, and think that you suit better with a pair of jeans, and a t-shirt rather than a shiny dress. Still, girls put enormous effort in decorating themselves because it relates with self-esteem. Even in my case, I'm usually well prepared externally when I go to the school library, even when I go to the school library, and there are friends who do not understand. And my parents were at first worried if I cannot go outside without my fancy clothes or makeup, which was not true. But for me, wearing the attire that I like and being fully assured of myself allows me to focus on other things, including studying. In my case, being unsatisfied with my attire bothers me and can keep me from concentrating on other things. Another example of satisfaction being created by the eyes of others can be seen in our attitudes toward luxury items. People spend a large amount of money, even when a $50 bag in random stores, they spend a lot of money on purchasing luxury brand bags, even when a $50 bag in random stores is sufficient. People use enormous amount of money, like they are attracted to these brands regardless of their high and unreasonable cost. These days, brands such as Louis Vuitton, Chanel, and Gucci are far famed, and people who are not even really interested in fashion must have heard at least once about these three brands. People purchase these brands not just based on their personal taste, but consider how others will think about them when holding a luxury brand bag. They think that they will be treated differently. Often, women wear their casual clothing and casual bags when meeting family members. But on the other hand, when meeting new people outside of family and attending to official meetings, we tend to go out for our most fabulous fashion items. The reason for this is because people do not want to feel inferior, not only internally, but also externally, because they are aware that people evaluate others by external appearances. Also, there are people who purchase luxury brands to prove that they possess the means to purchase them. That is why items that have big logos on the front are especially in high demand, regardless of their overall design. In general, East Asian countries like Korea and Japan are known to put more pressure on external appearances compared to Western countries. There is this active movement going on in Korea, and the name is the taking off corset. The movement refers to people to reject things that has been defined feminine in society. Women who support and participate in this movement post broken lipstick or cut off hair on social network services. The movement is spreading little by little among people among their 20s and teenagers. And they aim to break the stereotype of existing women. In my opinion, the intention behind the taking off corset movement is fine, and I totally agree that women should not just decorate themselves to suit the criteria of pretty. But women who do decorate themselves for their own satisfaction should not be carelessly criticized. As I emphasized earlier, external factors make up a significant part of one's first impression, which is why decorating oneself is not just the purpose of looking good to others, but also benefits themselves. Also, there are a lot of people who decorate themselves just for their own satisfaction, rather than to meet the society's beauty standards. I guess it is much more appropriate to say that external care is important rather than decorating oneself is important. There are people who are self-conscious, decorating themselves to expensive clothing to appear wealthy. On the other hand, there are people who are wealthy enough and who can afford luxury brands easily, but instead wear rented clothing instead. That is why we should not simply judge anyone just by their appearance, because looks do not explain everything. Proving this point is someone from my own family. My mom is a professor, but usually people in our neighborhood don't usually think of her as a professional woman. This is because of her looks. Literally, she just wears anything that she spots in her sight. She just doesn't care. Years ago, and our family members still even talk about this now, we had a neighborhood meeting once in a month, and on that day, it was our turn to host it for the neighborhood. On the day, our housekeeper and my mom were both there, and guess what? The neighbors greeted our housekeeper, naturally thinking that she was the owner of the house. Compared to my mom, our housekeeper always wore makeup and had a shawl around her shoulders, which made her look elegant. After the incident, my mom laughed so hard, and she even seemed happy. I always tell my mom, just dress up a little, but my mom always says, why do I have to care about my looks that much? Is it that important? She even says that it's funny to see people who just judge her by her appearance and later on get surprised figuring out that she's a professional woman. In my perspective, I do not really understand. As a daughter, I hope my mom gets that good treatment, not being slighted in any circumstances. You do not necessarily have to be flashy and flaunt yourself through luxury fashion. But in life, there are times when you are inevitably judged by your appearance, which means better external care may allow better treatment and respect. Externality is therefore not just about decorating oneself, but an effective way to express oneself. In life, you encounter various people in various circumstances, and in these situations, first impressions are much more important than we think. Of course, externality is not the only factor that controls the outcomes of all meetings, but their influence is by no means negligible. Of course, my view may change with age. As I become older, I might become lazy in decorating myself, just like my mom, and lose interest in fashion by focusing on other important factors in life. But now in my 20s, I do believe that external care is important. Thank you for listening.